think we can go ahead and get started. Thank you everyone again for joining us for today's webinar, Partners in MSP Success, a webinar with NinjaOne and HaloPSA. Before we jump in and get started, I do want to do some quick housekeeping. Today's webinar will be recorded. We will provide that recording usually 5 to 7 business days after the webinar, so you will have that available to you that you can use yourself or share as you need. This is an interactive webinar, so we do have a chat open for you. Please do use it. The more you engage with chat, the more you engage with each other, the more value you're going to get out of the webinar. But if you do have questions for us that you want us to answer, we are generally going to hold questions until the end, but we will prioritize those questions put in Q&A first over those we see in chat. So if you do have questions, please put them in Q&A. We may be able to respond to some of them in chat as we go, but the kind of deeper questions we will hold till the end, and again, prioritize in Q&A. We do have a giveaway today. We'll give that away at the end. It is an Xbox. We'll give that away right before question and answer. So we are holding you hostage until we get to Q&A, but we'll have Christine hop on and choose our winner right there at the end. And with that, I think we can get started. I'll start here with an agenda. Today, we're going to do a quick intro of the presenters. We've got a great lineup here for you today. Do a brief overview of our partnership and really what makes NinjaOne and HaloPSA a great partnership. One of our combined partners, Reformed IT, was kind enough to give us a quick overview of how they use NinjaOne and HaloPSA together. We'll watch that quick video. He was unfortunately unable to join us, but we do have that video recording. We'll dive into a brief overview of NinjaOne and a quick demo of the product. Jump into HaloPSA, give a brief overview and a demo there, and then we'll jump into the Halo plus Ninja integration. We will have time for questions at the end, so please make sure you get those in the Q&A. All right, we've got a great lineup for you here. We've got Tim Bowers from HaloPSA. He's the executive over there and has spent the last 10 years bringing Halo up to its leadership position in the PSA market. Shai Molam is our NinjaOne's Chief Marketing and Strategy Officer. He'll be joining us to talk about the partnership and what sets Ninja apart. Morgan Aspinall is a senior technical consultant from HaloPSA and will be doing the heavy lifting both on the Halo technical demo and the integration demo. And my name is Pete Breton. I'm the Senior Director of Product and Customer Marketing, and I'll be providing the NinjaOne demo today. We also do have Luke Wetlock on the phone. He's a heavy user of both Halo and NinjaOne and a product manager at Ninja. He'll be in the chat, so reach out to him, ask him questions, and he'll also be here to answer questions during our Q&A.
Thank you, Pete. I just want to say we are absolutely thrilled to have Tim and Morgan with us today. And I know that all 4 of us are really excited to share with you what makes NinjaOne and HaloPSA such a powerful combo solution for RMM and PSA. And I think we're going to do just that today. All right, Tim, over to you.
Yeah, so Ninja and HaloPSA, they're perfect tools to be used together. And you can see that we're kind of both fully mature products now. It definitely feels like over the last 2 or 3 years, we've both been on this journey to full maturity, really, where you can just use those two products. And we're being recognized now by things like G2 and Capterra as leaders within our respective tool sets. Really important point here is that both organizations are still founder-led and majority owned. And it might not seem like a big deal, but for those that have been in the industry, I guess, for a long time, or maybe other industries where similar issues have happened, it's a really important part of the company because we have complete control over direction, over long-term strategy, over anything we want. We're not kind of constantly chasing quarterly or annual profits. We're kind of thinking 5 years, 10 years into the future. And it just makes things so much easier from running a company to be able to do that. And yeah, we've both absolutely customer obsessed organizations. You'll see all the time our team, myself, Morgan, anyone else senior really, we're busy on forums, we're on Reddit, trying to speak to customers as much as we can. And you'll see exactly the same thing from Ninja really. You've got even down to who they're employing. They're going out and finding people like Luke and Gavin Stone, who I know a lot of you will know. And they're customer focused people. They were customers, they're now working with the team. And I think both of us have that shared philosophy as well.
Thank you, Tim. I couldn't agree more. And I think really want to emphasize this customer obsession point is in many ways enabled by the fact that we are majority owned and there isn't some other institution dictating to us how much money to spend here and there. We probably jointly spend a disproportionately large percentage of our funds around customer focus and success, and we believe it's the right business decision. And there's no one out there that's going to tell us otherwise. And I think that's a big part of our success and what brings us together here. And I will say, maybe most importantly, is we have 600 successful joint customers out there. Many of you are with us today that are using our solutions, getting a tremendous amount of value, and that is super, super exciting. So next slide, Pete. So let's dig in a bit into what we mean when we say that NinjaOne and HaloPSA are customer obsessed. And we'll start with customer-driven development. What does that mean? Well, Ninja is a customer-driven development organization. What it means is that we embed our customers into roadmap, into product feature voting, into deep alpha and beta testing, into user experience feedback. In fact, speaking about our CEO, Sal, I have never met a CEO that is more obsessed with holding back on going GA. I've had CEOs push me to announce early. I've never met a CEO that's held back as much as Sal until he is certain that we're delivering a high quality release to our customers. Tim, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's more of the same, really. You can see we've got a roadmap on the website. We've got an ideas portal where you can interact with our team, upvote, and you'll see on there evidence that we do develop the features that are most upvoted on there. And that's the same. It's the same kind of. You'll get that same feeling anyone you speak to in the company. It's all about what the customer wants, what the customer needs. Myself, I'm from a product background. I was a developer for 3 or 4 years to start with, and Morgan as well is kind of from a technical background that understands product, and both of us spend probably 50% of our day talking to customers on various forums, etc., to find out what it is that you need. We're not squirreled away somewhere trying to work out ourselves what the best way to do something is. We know that we've got a brilliant resource out there, all the MSPs that are more than willing to share their opinions.
Awesome, Tim. We have 2 dogs here, and they are super excited about what we just said, so you might hear them barking in the background. One of our hallmarks as a company is our exceptional, obsessive focus on customer success. We deliver at NinjaOne unlimited onboarding, unlimited training, unlimited support at no additional cost. We're really proud. Our average response time for support tickets is 65 minutes. 98 average CSAT score. We believe deeply, and if you're our customers, I know you know this, that your success is our success. And that's why, by the way, we've been consistently rated #1 in support as compared to all other MMs. So we're really proud of that.
Yeah, and I mean, our commitment to having the best customer support, customer success possible. You can kind of see an example of this last year with when we potentially quite contentiously brought in a minimum temporarily because we felt that the levels of support we were able to offer our existing customers was below what we expect of ourselves and below something that we wanted to offer. So you can see there a really good example really of us putting the customer experience ahead of any kind of short-term profit, short-term gain. It's definitely kind of, we're in it for the long haul, and that's the most important thing for us.
Thank you, Tim. All right. Well, the tech we build, both of us, is important to help you differentiate your business. And, we built NinjaOne to be the modern RMM, integrated management interface, super easy to deploy and use, responsive UI, SaaS-based, agent-based, no VPNs, scalable, API-led, all the things that we think you need in an RMM to deliver an exceptional experience to our customers. And we too, our leadership, our product people, really, this is this was at the core of how we thought and invented the company, much like what Tim was sharing about Halo. So Tim, anything more from you on that?
Yeah, just, well, it's more of the same again, that we've tried to make it as customizable as possible without compromising on simplicity and ease of use as well, which is a difficult line to tread for sure, because in a PSA you've got all kinds of different functions, and everyone likes to do things their own way. But again, based on customer feedback, we add in the most kind of commonly used functions, and it seems to be working really well so far.
Awesome. So roadmap transparency. You know, I think what we believe at NinjaOne, and again, I give a lot of credit to our founder CEO, Sal Sperlaza. It did take me a while to get that pronunciation right, but I think I have it now. You know, he believes strongly that there's a reasonable balance that you have to involve if you're going to involve your customers in product roadmap development, then you in turn have to be radically transparent back with them on the roadmap plans as well. And so I think in addition to that, we have a deep sense of confidence that there is no other RMM out there that's going to out-innovate us. And I think what that results in is we just post our roadmap right on our website to make sure we're keeping you all informed, and we're confident enough to be able to do that. I think very proud of that.
Yeah, it's a great tool for us internally at Halo to know that we're going in the right direction. And if there's things that should be on the roadmap that aren't, people can see that and contact us and say, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you putting development resource into these things? So it's a really easy tool for us to deploy that then makes us go in the right direction.
I like it. So, you know, bundling, how we price and bundle is important to our customers. And so we bundle very intentionally to fit with what our customers say they need. Very simple monthly pricing, no nickel and diming. And we spend a considerable amount of time really paying attention to that and nurturing that philosophy on an ongoing basis. And you can see Pete smiling because he is squarely in the middle of all that.
Yeah, it's exactly the same philosophy our side, really. We've never wanted to split it out into modules. Whenever we develop a new feature, something like resource booking, so I guess equivalent to things like Calendly or Microsoft Booking, we don't split that out and make it an extra $5 a month a user. That's just part of the product. And you'll see with some changes that are coming for kind of OpenAI / ChatGPT style features that we're starting to add into the product, they're going to be bundled in as well. We've always been strongly against any kind of module pricing. It just makes it so hard to know and plan your growth. And one of the main reasons you buy Halo is because you know it's going to grow with you, and you want to know what it's going to cost you. So that's always kind of been an important principle of ours.
Great stuff.
So yeah, so we're going to see a video here, a short testimonial from Joe Burns. He runs Reformed IT, and he's a shared customer of ours, and he's always great with his upfront and honest feedback. So let's see what he's got to say.
Joe Burns, I am the CEO and co-founder of a company called Reformed IT. We're based in the UK within the East Midlands. We help our clients with a managed IT and cybersecurity service. So we provide an entire stack and solution with layers of controls to help prevent cyber threats and cyber risks to our clients, as well as providing a managed help desk environment. We've been a customer of both HaloPSA and NinjaOne in terms of our PSA and RMM solution since around about November 2021. And we've implemented these two solutions together to give us the best of breed solution when it comes to both a PSA solution in Halo and also when reviewing the options for RMM solutions, we decided with NinjaOne to give us the complete flexibility and that tight-knit integration with the Halo PSA solution. We've been really happy with the way that these two integrate so far, and we work really closely with both Halo and with Ninja to help come up with suggestions of potential improvement and feature product releases. That we're really pleased with the fact that we are not a huge MSP. We're a team of around about 14 people, based in the UK, so pretty tiny compared to some other larger MSPs, but the feedback that we give to either Halo or Ninja is always well received. They're always looking to take on board our suggestions and make these recommendations for improvement. So we've been really impressed with the customer service that we've received from both companies. And we are very used to the fact that with Ninja, building the integration for alerts and any notifications that we might need to act on directly into Halo, and the ability to then drill straight into that particular asset within Ninja makes our lives easier for the techs on the ground. We're currently looking after around about 1,000 endpoints in total across 22 clients that we service in sectors such as professional services and manufacturing. One of the reasons that we're really pleased that we've chosen both Halo and NinjaOne for our solutions is the innovation from both companies. As I've mentioned, the customer service and taking on board feature requests has been fantastic, but we're seeing feature after feature come in from both of these companies that is constantly changing the game and showing why we made the right decision to go with both. The new features that are coming and the things that we're able to test and get early access to, that there's constant, every month we're seeing something new and something innovative that helps to make our lives easier and to improve the service to our end clients as well. So in summary, we are really pleased that we've actually got both of these two great partners, Halo and Ninja, on our side, because it's helping us to set ourselves apart from our competition.
Awesome. Joe was very kind and enthusiastic in providing his feedback on the Halo and NinjaOne partnership. So thank you so much, Joe, for providing that video and overview of your use of NinjaOne and Halo. Anyone have anything to add on this before we move forward into products? All right. So we're going to jump into NinjaOne next. What is NinjaOne? What sets us apart? And then I'll give you a brief demo. I want to start it with what sets us apart. And I think Shai and Tim have already done a great job of highlighting a lot of that. But, you know, when we look at where Ninja came from, you know, when we started out, we didn't have as many features as everyone else. We didn't have as much power as everyone else. And as we've added more features and functionality and power, one thing that really has set us apart is the fact that we're a cloud native platform that is, you know, really all our proprietary technology in a true centralized single pane solution that, you know, it's not pieced together from a bunch of different things. It's a holistic solution for MSPs to manage all of their devices and perform all of their device management workflows. And so it is remote monitoring and device management, but it's also an incredibly robust patching solution. It allows you to really easily deploy software at scale. It allows you to roll out your EDR and monitor it, whether that be, you know, SentinelOne or Bitdefender or other solutions. It allows you to do backup single pane. So it's really about all of your device management in a single pane of glass and an incredibly easy to use, intuitive, fast solution that again is cloud native. And one of the reasons that's so impactful is it's built for that MSP use case, the distributed environments, the very heterogeneous environments that all need to roll up to one centralized place for management. And I think that from a product perspective, that's probably our biggest differentiator overall. If you lean then into being easy to use and fast to implement and really easy to get off the ground, you then have technicians who are getting up and running faster, who are using more of the platform, and even leads into that next step of automating more because they're able to use more of the platform, because we've taken, you know, languages that you already know from a scripting perspective and built an automation engine on top of it. Again, is easy to use and easy to learn and fast to implement. You find everyone in your organization automating more of their endpoint management tasks, more of the repetitive and error-prone tasks that you don't really want your technicians to do. You want those to be handed off to a machine to run for you so that you can free up your technicians for more complex and value-driving tasks. Probably what I think makes Ninja most successful, though, is the culture of customer obsession we've already talked about that is manifest in our free onboarding, training, and our outstanding support. As Shai mentioned, we've got about an hour first touch response time on tickets. We have a very high first touch resolution rate on those tickets. We are always available to provide more onboarding support and training, and just having someone that you can talk to about any challenges or best practices you might want to get out of the system really means that our MSP partners are able to leverage more of NinjaOne than any other RMM out there. Last but not least, and critical to this conversation, is any integrations that we build or support, they're best in class, whether that be with a PSA like Halo, whether that be our SSO integrations, our integrations with security tools or remote access tools, whatever they may be. We believe in an ecosystem approach to management, and we know that that ecosystem approach is critical to the health of the MSP industry, and so we've really leaned into that as well. So I really think that's what sets NinjaOne apart, and I'm going to jump into a quick demo here. Unless Shai, you have anything you want to add here?
Great stuff, Pete. I think let's let the product speak for itself.
All right. All right, so anyone who has not seen NinjaOne before, this is our heads-up display. Are you guys seeing it, the Ninja platform? Okay, cool, thank you. This is your 500-foot view, and you can see there on the left, you've got all of your clients listed out in the core left-hand pane there. We do follow a red, yellow, green kind of stoplight approach to really help you hone in on what you need to focus on. So red means there's a critical challenge that you need to solve right now. Yellow means you're going to want to look into this at some point, and then green means you can ignore me, I'm in good shape. We've also got that red, yellow, green distribution in the middle, and all the alerts that are generating those colors down the center there. And then on the right, you've got all the actions NinjaOne is taking on your behalf. Now, this is a demo environment. There's not a lot going on here, but if you jump into a real live environment that's really leaned into automation, you'll see that wheel constantly full of things that Ninja's doing on your behalf. Now, this is our most high-level view, but we've got a lot of other dashboards as well. I can jump into devices and see, for example, all my alerts, so I can go ahead and take action against them. I can jump into our patching dashboard and see my patching stance really easily and immediately jump in and begin remediating patching issues directly from here. We've got our backup overview and even our activities dashboard here, which I think is really critical, that gives you a running list of everything that's happening in the environment on your behalf, whether it be by technicians or through automation. So there are a lot of ways to get a lot of really good information right here from a dashboard or a high-level overview perspective. Where the magic really comes in is when you start diving into devices. So I'm going to jump into this Software Development Inc. organization here, and I'm going to jump into a device. Each client that you have will have their own organization, but let's jump into a device. So on every single device, you're going to see your real-time telemetry data, what's going on from a performance perspective. This updates every minute, and you're going to see this on all of your devices. You're also going to see any alerts that are happening on your devices. So I can go in and, for example, here, it looks like we've got a feature update. I could go in and approve this. I'm not going to do that. It's a virtual machine. It would probably kill the machine if we ran that. And then we've got our running list of all activities, again, that are happening on this device in essentially in real time. It updates every 60 seconds. Then you've got some basic device details that you can jump into, including how this device is being managed from a policy perspective. I can get more hardware details if I jump into the detail tab here. It's all of the hardware details on the device. You have things like if this was a physical device, you'd have your BitLocker status here. You can have your AV. You can have any event logs, critical events that are happening, etc. I can also jump in and see all of my patching stance, all the patching information on this device. But I think where it gets really interesting is tools. Remote tools really are going to help you be a lot more efficient. The more you can switch from remote access to remote tools, the more you're going to be able to provide support and solutions to your clients and users without interrupting them, which is great for you from a productivity perspective and your client. So you can, for example, make registry edits remotely without any end user interaction. You can start and stop processes or change priorities. You can explore the file tree, upload, download files. you can start stop services. One of my favorites here, though, is our remote PowerShell terminal. This is, of course, sorry about that. This is our real-time PowerShell terminal. It's 100% remote. The end user won't see anything, but you can see, for example, it's going to give me feedback in essentially real time. I can start a query, stop a query, whatever it may be. And this is going to take action at the system level on the endpoint without ever interrupting the end user. There's a lot you can do with this tool. We have both command and PowerShell, and for Mac and Linux, we have shell terminals as well. You can also see we have our remote access solutions, TeamViewer and Splashtop here. You can run backups from here. You can check any tickets related to this device from here, see your custom fields, and a whole bunch of other tools here, right? We can put this into maintenance mode. We can start and stop patch scans and updates. We can run a custom scan from Bitdefender. We could reboot it. And really critically, we can run scripts. So if I want to add a local user, I hit apply, and we've got a local user. That's what we want to do if we want to take action on individual devices. This is great for that help desk use case. But what happens when you want to take action at scale? We can jump over here to our device search grid, and we can see a completely customized view of any and all of our devices. It actually looks like I have some filters applied here. I'm going to go ahead and clear those. We can see all my devices here, and this is a completely custom view. So if I want to come over here and add columns or remove columns, I can go ahead and do that. I can just pull that out, pull off uptime, bring in, let's say, last login, and I've got that view right here. I can save this view and always come back to it. And I can also filter. So let's say I want to just see all of my, let's see here, Windows servers. It's going to filter down to that. I can save that, and it's always going to save the column configuration as well. But let's say I want to take action across a couple of these. I've got a couple Windows servers here, and I want to take action against a couple devices here. I can go ahead and run a script against all of these really easily, and it'll deploy essentially synchronously within 60 seconds, which is great. That, again, is great for ad hoc work that you may need to do either individually or at scale. But again, the real magic comes in when you're talking about automation. Let's jump down to our policies. NinjaOne takes a policy-based approach to device management. Where are we here? Windows Workstation, here we go. Policies are essentially the automation brain of NinjaOne. What that means is this is the set of instructions that you're giving Ninja that tells Ninja how you want these devices managed. And everything in here is fully automated. So whether it be conditions, which are what you're going to monitor for, scheduled scripts, which are scheduled automations, your patching configurations, how you want your security solution managed, how you want to patch software, and even your backups all happen in here. And one policy could be applied to hundreds of devices, tens of devices, thousands of devices, all to make sure that you have standardized automated management of your endpoints. Let's focus on conditions really quick, because this does tie into what we do in our Halo integration. This is where you decide what you're going to monitor for and create alerts on. So this is a really, it's always such a funny example, but it's a really clear one that everyone gets. It's print spooler service is down. I'm going to monitor for if the print spooler service is down. And if that's detected, I can push an alert out to all of our notification channels. That might be Slack, it might be email, it might be SMS, it might be our PSA. I can create a ticket, but I can also, more importantly, actually automate the remediation of that. I can actually go in here, you can see this. I am going to restart that service really, really quickly. So I'm going to detect and remediate that issue 100% automatically, and also potentially kick off a ticket so I can track that happened. And there are unlimited number of use cases you can think of around both monitoring with a condition, but then also automatically remediate. So let's see, for example, here, this one, brute force detection, we can look at failed login attempts, like multiple in a short period of time, and then disable that user account. We can reboot a device after a certain period of time if it hasn't happened already. We can alert on smart disk status degraded, etc. There are a ton of different things you can monitor for. And again, this is going to be the core of our integration with HaloPSA, where you're pushing this information into your PSA. We also have scheduled scripts. Some great use cases here, for example, would be to fully automate the setup of a new computer. So if I jump in here, you can see, for example, the first time that device checks in, I'm going to run a set of automations automatically against any device in this policy that creates a service account that enables BitLocker, that writes that BitLocker to a custom BitLocker key to a custom field, that does a couple other configurations to help maybe set it up from a productivity perspective or ensure that it's secure. I may want to do things like copying logs for security review. I may want to create a new Ninja event log. I don't know why, but we could do that. There are a lot of things that we can do here to help minimize the amount of maintenance and management you're doing from a day-to-day perspective. Our patch management is controlled in here as well. This is something we're really well known for. We separate scan and update, so you always have visibility in your patching and also control over what goes out. We can do automations before and after patch deployment. And then critically, we also automate the approval or rejection of those patches. So you can identify, approve or deny, and roll out patches and essentially make patching zero touch for your team. If you're working with our one of our integrated solutions, Bitdefender, Webroot, or SentinelOne, I don't have that on here, you can roll out and manage your security stack in here, patch all of your endpoints for applications, and even automate your backups from here. That's policy-based management. This is really the heart of automation for NinjaOne, and really where you're going to spend a lot of time fine-tuning how you want your devices managed. I'm going to actually pause there and allow us to jump over to Halo and the HaloPSA NinjaOne integration. That is a quick demo. If you want to see a full demo of NinjaOne, you can reach out to us and really dive into the rest of the platform.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Peter, and thanks, Tim and Shai, for sort of highlighting just how aligned we are as companies. It's really good to see just how many points there are that we have in common. And yeah, one of those points is great products. So, I mean, let me just share my screen. One point to note about Halo that's quite interesting that people may not be aware of straight away is we've been around for about 30 years now. So while we've recently sort of repackaged the application into a web-based app, sort of written in React in the front end, we have sort of 30 years worth of functionality behind the scenes. So we've got a really mature PSA tool and a really powerful engine running many different features while at the same time being fast, snappy, and responsive. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll take a look at the Ninja integration within HaloPSA, and then also take a look at some of the other cool features within HaloPSA sort of relating to the integration. So cool. The first thing that you're going to want to do is, of course, set the integration up, and you can do that within the configuration panel in HaloPSA. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Yeah, okay, cool. And yeah, so within the configuration panel, we have our integrations module down here, where you'll see dozens of integrations and you know, new integrations getting added in every single month. And right here we have our NinjaOne integration. Now, I've already connected a NinjaOne instance to this HaloPSA instance, but the connection process is really straightforward. You pick your location, you click connect, you log in, and that's it. So really sort of seamless authentication process there. Now, once you are connected, you'll see some further options that are displayed below. So firstly, you're going to want to map your Ninja organizations to your HaloPSA customers and sites. Now, by default, we'll be matching on name, but there might be instances where names don't exactly align. This might be a good example here, where we have Halo Service Solutions in Ninja, but we have HaloPSA in our Halo instance. So we can add our mappings in just by selecting our Ninja organization and our respective Halo customer, and then mapping our Ninja locations to our Halo sites. And we can go through that process, and then as I mentioned, otherwise we'll be matching on name. Directly below that, we have our device and software imports. So there's a couple of options to consider here. The first and foremost, we have our default site. So hopefully all of your customers will be mapped, but there might be some sort of fringe cases or eventualities where those sites aren't mapped. And so where do the devices go in that case? And they'll go to our default site here. So this is sort of our catch-all site. If we don't have a mapped location to a site, then we'll put the devices into this site in Halo. We also have here our group for asset types that do not equate to asset types in Halo. So you might have an asset type in Ninja that hasn't yet been created in Halo. Once we start to import our devices, that asset type will actually get created. And here we're establishing the asset group that asset type will get created within. And then over here, we have our option to establish how we're determining the asset type in Halo, where we can pick the device type or the node class from Ninja. The option below is quite an important one as well. So this is our asset matching field. And the use case here is there might be some scenarios where a device has already been imported into Halo prior to connecting Ninja. You might be migrating from another PSA tool, or you might be migrating your RMM, and you're moving those devices across, and they already exist in Halo. And so what we're saying here is if the device is not been recognized as being imported from Ninja, however, the serial number in this case is the same as the serial number being imported from Ninja, then Halo can automatically recognize that we're actually talking about the same device here. We're not going to import the same asset into Halo twice. And we'll see here, I've picked serial number, which is usually a good one to go with. But there are dozens of options in here as well. Cool. So below that, we have our field mappings table. It's quite an important point to note that only the information that is added into the field mappings table will be imported into Halo. So we are providing you guys with agency over exactly what it is that you want to actually bring into Halo. So in order to sort of establish those fields, we can just add to our field mapping table, where we're essentially saying what is the Ninja field that we're going to be importing, and what is the Halo field that we're going to be importing that data into. So I want to have my Ninja IP address list flow into the HaloPSA IP address field, for example. And you'll see that I've thrown a couple in here already. An important one that people might want to consider is mapping the asset number in HaloPSA. It's the asset number / asset tag that is returned primarily throughout the system. So when you're searching assets, that's what you're going to see first and foremost, that asset number. When you're adding assets to your tickets, or that's being automated via the Ninja integration, then you're going to see that asset number. So you probably want to make sure that is mapped to something that is quite easily detectable as well, something like display name, so you can easily see what device it is that we're referring to. Cool. And then below here we have an option where we can actually search the users in Halo and allocate those users, or establish a relationship between the user and the device based on the last logged in user within Ninja. And so it's not just that we're bringing the devices in and putting them into a location without any sort of user association. We're actually allowing users to be associated to those devices as well. So we'll go in and import a couple of devices here. Pick those three. And we'll see, it's going to take a couple of seconds and we're all done. Now, below that, below our sort of device imports, we have our alerting section. So, of course, when an alert is triggered in Ninja, you're going to want that associated ticket to be logged in Halo. As Peter mentions, you're going to want to ensure that your team actually have visibility of that alert as soon as it comes in, and so can action accordingly. And so within our alerting section here, we're just establishing some defaults behind the configuration of that alerting. Namely, what is the Halo ticket type that we're going to be logging when an alert is raised in Ninja, and what is the default user that we're going to be logging that alert against. Again, this is sort of our catch-all, similar to our default site that we saw just above. We can also have those alerts triggered via webhooks as well. So that's quite a handy means of getting the alerting into Halo more frequently than you would otherwise find if not using the webhooks. And we can also flow ticket closure events back from Halo to Ninja. So you don't have to close the ticket twice, you close it in Halo, and that's going to get closed back in Ninja. Now, everything that I mentioned there regarding our organization device imports, of course, we could go in and manually import by clicking the respective buttons, as I just did a moment ago, but you're not going to want to do that in reality. You're going to want Halo to be handling that and automatically updating everything behind the scenes. And that is achieved via enabling the Halo integrator to automate the imports of those respective entities, namely organizations, devices, alerts, or everything on a scheduled basis. Now, if you're hosted, that's something that we set up for you, and we can set up on a schedule of your choosing. If you're on premise, then we can provide you the link, or you can sort of click on the link to download and run that Halo integrator yourself. And then finally, we have our option down here to provide a deep link straight from the device in Halo over to Ninja. Cool. So we saw a moment ago that I imported those devices. Maybe they're in here. Yeah, I imported those devices from Ninja into Halo, and here they are in here, and we'll see they've been imported to the HaloPSA customer and Halo House site. That goes back to the fact that I established my field mapping to say that within Ninja, within our Halo Service Solutions /EU organization, we're going to want those devices to land in the Halo House site within Halo. Now, what's quite handy when sort of talking about importing your devices on a scheduled basis into Halo is you might be billing per device. You might want to automate the quantities on your invoices based on the number of devices that have been imported from Ninja. And of course, each day, let's say, as the asset numbers, the device numbers are getting updated from Ninja, you're going to want those quantities to be updated automatically and reflected on your invoices when they're created. So to do something like that, all we have to do is within a given recurring invoice. So how I'll get there is I'll go to the customers list, and we'll see within our customer, we've got a recurring invoices tab. It's worth mentioning that this recurring invoices tab, of course, is only applicable to the HaloPSA customer. If I wanted a full list of my recurring invoices, I could equally go to the invoices module and then the recurring invoices in here. They'll take us to a very similar place. But yeah, relevant to the Ninja integration, we may want to say that for our recurring invoice lines, instead of hard coding a quantity into Halo and having to manually upkeep that, we may actually want that quantity to be determined based on the assets that we have in the system. Now, when I select that, I have a table below where I can specify some further information. So I might actually charge a separate amount per workstation than I do per server. So at that point, we can say we're only concerned with servers that have been imported from Ninja. Save that. And we'll see that those 3 devices that have been imported from Ninja will flow into the quantity field within that associated recurring invoice. Now, again, if we're talking about automating quantity updates, we may want to consider what happens with proration. So, if our devices are getting added halfway through the month, how are we going to be prorating that? And HaloPSA can handle various different pro rata cases. And again, that's within our editing of the invoice quantity, where just below my asset type, I have my pro rata option down here. So yeah, we've got everything in here from sort of pro rata based on when the change occurred to immediately invoice for any changes. So all of the core pro rata types covered in here. Cool. And yeah, that's the Ninja integration in a nutshell. I think we'll leave the 15 minutes for questions. There is another sort of cool little feature of, well, I say little, a massive feature of HaloPSA, something else that I think sets us apart from the rest. And I just want to briefly mention that just before we go into questions, and that is the self-service portal in HaloPSA. So what we're looking at here is where your customers will be logging in to sort of log their own tickets, view updates on existing tickets that they have. In here, we can also sort of provide a full dashboard of information, or you as the MSP can provide a full dashboard of information to your customers, such that they can see real-time metrics within the system. So this is quite a nice feature and a way to sort of get rid of those QBRs. So you don't need to send a quarterly review of your metrics. You can provide a dashboard on your self-service portal in Halo where customers can see in real time all of that information that they're looking to see, and they can see how great you are as the MSP. And so yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there and leave some time for questions.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Morgan. That self-service portal is really cool. I have one quick slide before we jump into questions, and that is to show this slide. We do have a giveaway today, an Xbox, and Christine should hop on in just a second to give that away.
Hey everyone, I hope we're enjoying the webinar so far. We're super excited to have you all online with us today. I always like to say I'm here for the fun stuff. Our winner of this Xbox is, drumroll please, Larry Lowry. Congratulations, Larry. Be on the lookout for an email from us and we'll get that out to you. Back to you guys.
Congratulations, Larry. Thanks, Christine. So I'm going to leave this up while I pitch over some questions. I do see a lot of them were already answered. I'll go back and take a look at those, but I will try to answer the questions we have in Q&A. It looks like they're being answered as we speak. So let me look through this really quick. I'm sorry. Is there any plan to auto detect clients from NinjaOne to Halo? It looks like we've got a product question here, so I'll hand that over to Tim and Morgan.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the auto creation of a client in Halo when it's created in Ninja, and the other way around as well. So we do have that planned on our side. I think it's just a matter of us using the webhooks that are provided by Ninja to create clients, and also have the ability for us to push clients out there. It's something we have on the roadmap, but it doesn't really have a specific date at the moment, because it isn't asked for that much. But it's definitely one that could go on the ideas portal, and if it gets the upvotes, then we'd definitely do it.
Yeah, one thing it's worth highlighting is that Halo built this integration without the most support from Ninja. It showed up and people started using it, and they did a fantastic job on it, but that doesn't mean everything that could possibly be done is available to them. So we also are working to provide as much as we can those any missing capabilities that you guys need. So if you have requests for Halo, also let us know so that we can provide Halo with what they need to build the integrations. Next question we have here is, I was hoping to see more on Halo ticketing and how that works with Ninja. Maybe webinar too. So Morgan, if you could speak to that.
Yeah. I think to be honest, we just sort of ran short on time a little bit. I mean, I'd be happy to spend 5 minutes to look at the ticketing functionality in Halo right now. I don't know if you want me to do that, or if we leave that for potentially a sort of private demo, Mark. Or like Mark says, or someone else in the chat said, a second iteration of the webinar where we talk about some of the other functionality.
Well, you know what? I don't actually see a ton of like deeper questions here. I think it would be great to see an overview.
Yeah. Let's do it. Okay. Share my screen. Cool. Yeah, so ticketing in general, we're going to find all of those within our sort of primary modules within HaloPSA, namely the service desk area. The options that we see here, specifically service desk and projects, these are very configurable. There's a sort of broad scope of function of filters and conditions that we can apply to determine exactly what is present within these areas. So if we click into our service desk area, what we'll see in here is on the left-hand side, we have the teams relevant to our service desk area on the left-hand side. This is in our sort of view pane. And then based on what we're viewing here, we have a list of tickets, in this case, based on the assigned agent that we are selecting. Now, both the options on the left and the columns of information in the main ticket list are fully configurable. So we can change our default view just by clicking on the view in the top left, where we could select perhaps my lists, where we can specify in here, open alerts, where we can specify exactly what information it is we are looking for to be returned within this list. And we can do that within the filters tab. So I might want to say for all of my open tickets that are of type alert, of type alert, then show me all of the tickets in that list. Now, at the minute, we don't have any alerts. So let's go ahead and create a ticket, which I can do by clicking new in the top right. Where right at the top, I have my option to select the type of ticket that we're logging. Now, notice how as I'm changing my ticket type here, the form that I'm actually filling out changes. So the forms that are presented per ticket type are fully customizable. We've got at this point perhaps hundreds of system fields that you can use. Things like category selection, contract selection, impact urgency, and so on. But we even have the ability to create your own custom fields. Otherwise, in other PSA tools, they might be referred to as user-defined fields or, something like that. So yeah, the scope in terms of what you can include in this form is practically limitless. To sort of briefly hop over to that, those are all configured via the configuration module, where in here we have custom objects where we can create our custom fields. And this is where we would compose the fields that we would then add onto our ticket type via the field list for that ticket type. Without going into too much detail, that is done within the ticket type itself, namely within the field list. Where we see here, we've got our summary and details, and that is why when we're raising that alert, we have summary and details.
Hey, Morgan, there's an add-on question here. Mark asks, Morgan didn't cover ticket creation, closure, etc., based on Ninja alerts. I thought I saw that in the integration section, but I don't know if he's asking something else here.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't think we've got the alerts. We don't have any webhooks enabled on the Ninja side of the integration to actually fire an alert off. So basically what will happen is a ticket of type alert, or more specifically, a ticket of type based on this option will be logged. It will have the device that the alert is triggered from associated to it, attached to it, and it will be logged against the organization that the device is located against. In terms of actually triggering it, I don't think we have anything set up on the Ninja side of this example integration to handle that. But I'd be happy to hop on a call with you separately and sort of set one of those alerts up on our Ninja instance and show you or anyone else that's interested exactly how those alerts look in Halo once they have been raised. However, they will look very similar to what we have here. So what we're looking at here is sort of the ticket details screen. Now we can really break this down into 4 main sections. We've got our activity pane, first and foremost, where we can see any internal or external correspondence against the ticket. Any updates from Ninja as well, I believe, sort of come into our activity feed. To the right of that, we have our sort of more miscellaneous ticket information. To the right of that, we have our customer information. And then along the top here, we have our actions. And these sort of determine the types of activity that technicians can perform on a ticket of this type. So yeah, I'm afraid I don't have an example alert that's actually been triggered from Ninja. However, what you'll find is something fairly similar to what we're looking at here. Yeah, I know there's 3 minutes left. I just wanted to mention as well, we don't see anywhere in here where we can associate a device to this ticket type. That's a really straightforward case of just going to config tickets, ticket types, going to our alert ticket type, and making sure that the asset field is present in our field list. At which point, there's our open alert. At which point I can manually add an asset in this case. However, what we would find via the Ninja triggered alert is this would all automatically occur for you. So you see something that looks more like this with our device associated to the scheme question.
Awesome. Thank you, Morgan. We've got 2 minutes left, so I think we should wrap up. I think Halo has a really amazing integration guide that you guys can all go and check out if you're interested in looking at how the integration works and how to set things up. Maybe something we can work together on. Morgan is pulling together like a best practices guide. I think Luke can probably help us with that with his eyes closed, so we can get those out to our partners and anyone interested. I do want to thank all of our partners, our customers who are on the call right now for participating. We hope this was helpful and valuable to you. I also want to give a special thank you to Tim and Morgan for jumping on. They did the heavy lifting here. You saw Morgan do most of that, the heavy lifting in the platform itself. And Tim, thank you so much for your thoughts and insights here today. Shai, thank you as well. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and thanks so much for joining.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks everyone.